This small pikin, where are they call so? Now, old mama, because of the wisdom where they are ahead, if all those nonsense people where they open their dirty mouth, their gutter mouth, they talk, they don't get it. It happened recently. They say Regina marry. I go marry one Methuselah, one old man. True. I never see where person they drink Panadol for person headache. The small girl come and cry, give and say then force and enter the marriage. Now love, oh. And me will be mama no get the right to tell and say come no love.
So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. Whenever a marriage has crisis, especially one where it seems as though there were signs or red flags apparent from the onset, the blame usually and naturally goes to the parties involved. I mean, to the person who saw and ignored those red flags. And then you hear people say things like, oh yes, well, it was your fault. You saw those signs and you walked in, so take responsibility for your actions. But with this case, with Regina, the atmosphere on this one has been particularly different. Rather than come hard on Regina herself, well, a few people did here and there, but the majority of the people channeled their blame, disappointment, and fury to her mother. Why? Well, let me tell you the whole story. First, if you're new here, you're strolling in for the first time, you're seeing my face for the first time, you're just learning about our channel Nezeville for the first time, it is no coincidence, you're destined to join us. Or if you've been watching us and you haven't subscribed yet, a quick reminder, don't forget, don't fail to hit the subscribe button. Give this video a big thumbs up. It does help. Drop your thoughts down in the comment section because we love to read from you. And stay glued for we have so much more coming your way. Let us proceed. Regina had already begun her life on some sort of turbulent childhood. Her parents separated when she was a little child. You see, divorce is hard, and it is hard on everyone. But many times, we are all so focused on the wrongs and the hurts encountered by the parties to that marriage that we often forget to put into consideration and take account of the emotions of the children who become collateral damages and casualties in that divorce. When little children go through their parents' split, it is never a palatable experience for them. There is the confusion, the anxiety, the removal of emotional security, the sense of loss. Some of them develop esteem issues. For some, their social behavior is impacted. Those that used to be very lively and playful, you see them, they'll just withdraw. Could be vice versa. Many develop trust and attachment issues, and woe betide one. If that divorce is messy, then the little children will now have to deal with divided loyalty. And let us not even forget that a divorce or a decision to get a divorce is not one that was reached overnight. Before a marriage deteriorates to the level where there has to be a permanent cessation of the union, there must have been serious tension in the home, unending arguments, sometimes physical fights that these children had to live through. So Regina grew up with that hurtful experience, with that confusion, anxiety, division of loyalty. Let us not forget that she is the Ada. Okay, the Ada in Igbo culture is like the first daughter. I know they are Delta Igbos, don't start to correct me, but they tend towards their Igbo side, the way they speak and their culture, right? And the Ada is a very significant position to hold in Igbo land because an Ada is her mother's best friend and her father's jewel.
This is my dad and this is my mom. Please, you guys should face the light. Let me see them well. Look at her face.
So that experience already made her volatile. Then, another dynamic to her situation was the fact that she had to start a career as a baby. She started acting, started working, started earning as a 7-year-old. Yes, you may say, oh, it's a passion, it's just a hobby, but it was still work. okay? And it required time, it required energy, long hours on set, a possible disruption of her child routines and her schooling program. At 7, we were still eating sand and baking sand castles and making mud cakes, some rolling tire on the streets while others are playing tente and suwe. But there she was already, changing costumes, performing, having to stick with schedules, rehearsals, and of course expectations. And notes that I do not blame her mother for that, okay? Some stars are born and have to be nurtured from childhood, while some get into the discovery as adulthood. So we do not blame her mother for nurturing this gifts or talents that she saw in her child. But for the purpose of this expository, it is still very important that we elucidate the possible effects and impacts that can have on a child. So there is the loss of normal childhood, constantly surrounded by adults instead of being in the midst of fellow children. There is the emotional exhaustion from all of them, late nights, lights, camera action, retake this and go change this, your costume. It is something. And you see, there is a reason why God or nature, depending on your belief, made times and seasons. There is a season for everything. And as human beings, if you try to cheat nature and put one season before the other, or approach a season with the formula of another season, you will find yourself suffering. If you choose to put on a winter jacket during summer, you would suffer the heat. And if you choose to wear sleeveless gowns during winter, you would also bear the consequences. So there is a progression of things in life for a reason. And most times, if you alter that progression, there is always a price to pay. It comes at a cost. And that is why both real life examples and studies, there are empirical facts and evidence to back it up, to back this claim up, that such children are more susceptible to having turbulent adulthoods and to crashing out in the long run. And we have seen one too many examples play out before our very eyes. Take, for example, Lindsay Lohan. I don't know if you guys know her. Started out at 3 years old, got fame very early. And with this fame came early access to Hollywood parties. There was drugs, alcohol, multiple arrests, in and out of rehab. And at the end of the day, she crashed out. Another example, Britney Spears started out at 8 years. And the pressure of celebrity life and fame almost swallowed her. It was scandal after scandal, which led to a public breakdown sometime in 2007. You guys remember when she just came to public and shaved her hair and she went crazy? And now she had to live under conservatorship for the past 13 years. There were so many of them. Demi Lovato, Macaulay Culkin, that started at 4 years old. So despite not all, it cannot be all of them, but there is still a very high propensity of a psychological, social, and moral cost eventually outweighing that fame and success. Now, let us combine these two. First, a child. Not a child from a loving, healthy, balanced two-parent home. A child who had gone through the pain of watching her parents split. And then on top of it, being exposed to an early career, beginning to perform live at the age of 7, no real childhood. If she was volatile, now it has become double volatility. And third, let's go to the third. If you've listened to this point, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you haven't, just start to drop that over there. Subscribe, hit the like button, drop your comments as we talk down in the comment section, okay? So third, this same child now being married off as a teenager. There are rumors that she was actually 17 and not 18. There are different rumors circulating, but let us just stick with the 18 years old. For peace to reign, let us just say 18. Although there have been words going around that she was actually 17. But hey, 18 it is, right? And how did that happen? The senator himself, this is not a rumor or an assumption, the senator himself took to the media to say that he was on his own at his home on that fateful day when Regina's mother brought her along with her siblings to his house for sightseeing.
Regina and I is a story that is interesting because before I met her, I didn't know about her. I don't watch movies, never watch movies. I met her the first time when she came to my house with her mother and her siblings because my place in Delta is a tourist place. They came to look around and I liked her and that was it. So whether I marry another wife or not, she knows it can happen. I come from a very polygamous environment myself.
Ned and Regina got married in 2019. And Ned had mentioned that only a few weeks after meeting her, he got married to her. So it is also safe to assume that they met in 2019. And that excursion for sightseeing happened in 2019.
I met her and I liked her. We married within 3 weeks. Yes, within 3 weeks. I married all my wives within some period. I don't believe in dating anybody to marry them.
People wondered. That's 2019 is just here. Oh. It's not like 1962 or 1914 where it's just one man that has upstairs in the whole of the village and all of the impoverished children would gather to go and see his upstairs. In 2019, there was social media where you can open Facebook and feed your eyes of different places all over the world. There were cinemas, beach, event centers, different fun places. It wasn't an era of primitivity. So they questioned, what was this heaven of a beautiful house that Ned Woko had, that Regina's mother took her there to go and do sightseeing? They were very suspicious of that move. And they argued that in every community, in every place, the people, the indigents, the people around know their big men. They know their famous men. They know what they like. They know what catches his fancy. They know what he does. And in this case, the senator had publicly owned up, publicly bragged that he marries only virgins, untouched. And imagine a country where a lawmaker comes out to brag about such a thing, you know. So a lot of people suspected that this visit was strategical and that Regina's mom had deliberately taken her young daughter to the house of the elderly man for one reason and one reason alone. What are your thoughts? Let us begin to share them down below. At this point, Regina's parents had split. She was a single mother with 6 children. Yes, Regina was doing well. She was coming up. She was getting fame, getting jobs. But let us not completely erase the possibility of financial pressure on the mother. People claim that Regina's mother needed quick financial breakthrough, that she needed a cash cow. And Regina happened to be her sacrificial lamb. So here was a daughter who already had this precarious history and background with little or no real childhood experience, now faced again with early marriage. Before we start shouting this 1818 and start saying, oh, women in 1804 got married at 18, do you know how many men in 1804 were there on social media watching me on YouTube? They were fighting wars. They were in the forest hunting for bushmeat. They were counting cowries. They were on donkeys and camels. So it is stupidity to compare the way things were 100 years ago to contemporary times. Nothing remains the same. Things evolve, things change. Parenting 100 years ago is not parenting now. Marriage 100 years ago is not marriage now. Siblings relationship 100 years ago is not the same now. Things change. So just because it happened in the ancient times does not mean that it is practical today. A lot of people are of the opinion that yes, 18-year-olds, an 18-year-old is still a child. Ladies in their 20s, 30s, 40s, go to the mirror and look at your jugglers and ask yourself whether that was how they looked when they were 18. Even voice, my own voice. I did a video that this is not the voice I was using before. People were laughing. Even my voice has changed from when I was 18. Everything changes. So that tells that one is not truly formed, fully and truly formed at 18, both biologically and neurologically. And I have a good mind to believe that when these Western nations that we borrowed our law from came up with the age of 18 as the age of consent, their focus was more on some legal rights and responsibilities. Vote, enter into 1 or 2 contracts, sue. But in Africa, we have made it all about sex with young people and early marriage. That is where that 18 sweet us pass. So people wondered, what role exactly did mommy have to play in this early and premature marriage of this child who had already experienced a divorce and having to grow up early, starting a career at 7. Now, under normal circumstances, a mother's counsel plays a very powerful role in a woman's decision, marriage decision. And this influence runs really deep because your mother is like a big version of you. It's like you're seeing yourself in the future, manifested already before your very eyes. So women see their mothers as experienced guides who have gone through the journey before them and are conversant with the paths. Most times, girls trust their mother's judgments and instincts, and it provides us with some level of assurance. Yes, we want daddy's blessings, but we crave for mommy's guidance. I remember some years ago when I too was trying to make the decision of settling down and how much I relied on my mother's guidance and counsel. I had told God that, God, I do not want to make a mistake in marriage. Instead of making a mistake in marriage, it's better that I don't get married at all. And every time when I go to church, I would go to the Blessed Sacrament and kneel before the Blessed Sacrament, and I would talk to God and say, I do not want to get it wrong with marriage. I want to have a happy, fulfilling marriage. I remember what my mother's advice did to me. She never compelled me, you must, no. Her advice nudged me in the right direction. I brought these suitors home. Okay? Mothers, if you are watching me, please develop a good relationship with your daughter. Because I and my mother shared a very close bond. I'm her only daughter, her Ada and only daughter. So it was easy for me to relay these things to her and for us to have these kinds of conversations. I wasn't hiding. So she knew of them and she gave me advice. And she told me, if you are looking for a yopi papi, a rompire, otoniro, pium, you can marry this one. If you are looking for crying onion marriage, if you are looking for iyabas, onion, whipping, begging every day, crying every day, beg and call, marry this one. If you are looking for a happy and peaceful marriage with a man that will treat you like a queen and cherish you, onye ishizuroke, onye ahu rurala. I am not going to interpret that for you. Any Igbo person in the comment section can interpret that onye ishizuroke, onye ahu rurala. Marry this one. If you want this is the one for you. She gave me this counsel. And even when I jokingly just tried to, play with her, and I told her, mommy, if he's the outing type, if he's the club type, both of us will be enjoying and be going together now. She laughed and said, don't worry. When the time comes, you will understand. And when the time came, I understood. Because in 4 years, I have already dropped 3 children. So my spinal cord was not in place. My mental health, my body healing, wound. Is it then that I'll be jumping with man from one club to the other? Or will be jumping from one party to the other? Life would have changed me. Life would have taught me that some things are impracticable for a woman. But that man would not have stopped. Pium. So she told me, if it's ragamuffin, it's your ragamuffin. Oh yeah. But if you want level-headed, peaceful home, like what they place here. And then I made my decision. And exactly how she said it is how I saw it. Our mother's wisdom, approval or disapproval, plays a very great role when it comes to this, entering this institution called marriage. Even if your mother is married, even if she's divorced, even if she's widowed, even if she has broken up, for the fact that she has gone through this life, seen different men, had these experiences, there's a good chance that she would have 1 or 2 knowledge to impact that you will not be privy to due to age. Age is just a number, no follow for this one. No. Age is not just a number. There are things that come with age. So most times, yes, well-trained girls that have good relationship with their mothers will seek and rely on their advice and their counsel when it comes to settling with a life partner. Regina and her mother shared a very good and close relationship. They're like sisters because, her husband left. So being raised by a single mother, her mother was her all in all. They were very close. People wondered what role she played in all of this. And they asked, did you give this child good counsel? I mean, fair and good advice in her own best interests. Not an advice in the collective good of the family. In this child's interests? Or did you nudge her in the direction of your own selfish interests? Were you even the one who indirectly orchestrated this whole arrangement in the first place? They asked. These same people that were dragging Regina's mother wondered. They said, Mommy, on this day where your teenage daughter was given off as a sixth wife to an old man, you wore the largest grin in the room. You were even smiling more than the bride. You were even more energetic and enthusiastic more than the bride. Did you push your daughter to this? Did you softly encourage her? Ask yourself this question in all honesty. If your stance were different and you insisted on it, will the outcomes have been different? Will she still have gone ahead? Even after the traditional wedding, as more and more criticism flooded in against Regina's mom, describing this matchmaking as a sell-off, as a human auction, Mommy came out in defense, where she said,
this small pikin, where are they cause? Now, old mama, because of the wisdom where they are ahead, if all those nonsense people where they open their dirty mouth, their gutter mouth, they talk, they don't get them. Regina, na 20 years, not be October with this, which will they talk? 20 days now waiting. And on the 10th year, she go be 20 years. She never tried. She tell me she won't marry at early age. Just like what happened recently, I say Regina marry, I go marry one Methuselah, one old man. Shoo, I never see where person they drink Panadol for person headache. The small girl come and cry, give her and say then force and enter the marriage. Now love, oh, and me will be man no get the right to tell and say come no love. Some of our celebrities they die inside house, they no fit talk. Some girls they cry inside there, they don't fit talk because they marry young boys. What's the difference between your? I won't even ask them. My name, na Rita Daniels. Onye choki bediama chukuji. Regina Daniels, mama.
And then Mommy started shining, following her daughter, living the life, looking sweet. Levels don't change. Paper don't rest. One, your child.
Listen, you are a billionaire's wife.
What's that?
Please, I beg you in the name of God. I didn't say just stealing for your mom.
Oh my God, guys, because I stole these leggings and this shirt.
Is that the only thing you stole?
Oh, okay, and one gown.
Part of it that even you came in with your odd little to steal from me.
Now, there is a saying that when a woman is going through challenges in a marriage, like being in a bad place in a marriage, and she's pulling out or trying to pull out, there is always one close person. There is always this person that is always urging and encouraging her to go back. Either a pastor or a parent or a friend or somebody is always pushing her to go back. It is widely believed that if this abuse that Regina is alleging that she is going through is actually true, that Regina's mother knows of it and she actually encourages her daughter to bear it and remain there. Now, that is an allegation. What are your thoughts? Let us begin to drop down in the comment section. Why would people think so? Are mothers not supposed to love and protect their daughters? Referencing this video, people drew several meanings from this video where it looked as though, Regina's mother came to appease or apologize to Ned Woko, and Ned Woko was making some complaints that Regina asks him, "You are not my father," as though trying to revolt his control. "You are not my father." And Regina's mother was like, Sit Murali, kneel down, bow down, come on, go down on your knees.
Oh, she would not tell me, look, you are not my father. What the hell? She would tell me. I swear to God. She said, you're not my father. I said, no, I'm your husband. Go to bed.
It's a lie.
Please, record us.
You are my everything.
Exactly. Please, you have to be my house every day. She'll be doing this. She'll be doing this every day.
Oh, you don't do it. I agree.
And when people saw that video, they were like, this mommy is not only instrumental to the orchestration of this marriage, she is also pivotal to its continuity. And a lot of people felt highly disappointed in her, saying that this should not happen at all to any child. But was a child like yours, given her history, you shouldn't have been a party to giving your little baby out to such a marriage, even without the knowledge, the consent, and the presence of her father. Dare blame Rita Daniels for her daughter's woes. Let us drop our thoughts down in the comment section. And as we do, let us just take some social media commentary on this line of thoughts. Toyo from Big Brother Niger said, nowadays, parents mess up a lot. How will your child travel to another country for like 3 weeks and you don't know at all? What is your job? Back in those days, our parents know where we are at and when we are coming back home. For example, imagine how Regina's mom let her go off with a man by 17, 18. A child who doesn't know anything. Parents, we need to do better. And Nollywood actress Georgina Onoha had this to say.
I've been seeing the online trending video regarding Regina Daniels and her estranged husband, Senator Ned Nwoko. I want to believe that Nigerians, we have amnesia and something isn't really right with us. The fact that this grown man at almost 70 put out a press release that his 25-year-old wife, whom he started courting when she was 16 and married when she was 18 and fathered a child right away with her, is a drug abuser, and we all are all shouting and claiming that he's right. So does it mean that in our book, might is right? Don't get me wrong, I'm no fan of Regina Daniels. I saw her as a little child who was offered, whose youth and future was altered at the altar of an ancient and modern old man because of money by her irresponsible and greedy mother. She is a victim of her society. But that being said, she's smoking shisha and doing all of that. She was acting her age under the nose and umbrella of a man who married this little girl to protect and to provide for her. So Senator Ned Nwoko, let me ask you, at what point did a girl who was given to you at 16 or whom you started courting at 16 and married at 18 become a drug dealer? When she married you, she was whole, she was young, she was naive. You claim she was a virgin. At what point did that virgin become a drug dealer?
Now, when the backlash got really intense, Regina's mother stood up to her own defense and she said that Regina marrying Senator Ned was not her decision. She wasn't the one that orchestrated it. That it was Regina that made her own choice. And even when it looked as though she wanted to refuse, Regina became rebellious and she didn't want to lose her child. She cannot throw her child away. What will she do but to support her child? That she just kept quiet all along as people accused her because she would rather take the hit than let Regina go under the bus. She insisted that she didn't orchestrate any marriage. That Regina kicked off whatever she wanted to kick off with the senator herself, and she was not a party to it.
The Regina already, no has no more. Duele no king, duele diono. Nanji poli a jealous agadu woke of walking. If I honey water obunam. Muamarodi, by Hannah Bobido. The moon, if I was the last person they water now with a name. And Mbapa Tazota, more as in them mother. Adam one, it's not getting name. If for Salom, Bo onwe ne go nya asem na ya like okwo onya ka ya asem. Nwam ni di asem moku, asem amoku. Mfe na ocho bi gba isi ike. So gị na-emezi nka. And the political term oge anwa. Mụ na di ade alụ dọlụ. And immediately after election ka di abịa bịa sim na ya chọrọ ịnụ nwa m. Ike wee kwụlọtọ wee gwọ m. Mana ka ife ga-emekwa. Ị ga-akwụnyalụ nwa gị, ị ga-achụpụzi ya. You know? So mgbe m bichazili ife a, ndụkwa nke m ga-adụ. Na adọgalị m na akọ ya erife na ha na-akọ. The most important thing na nwata na all the happy born. And onwe be mu ọnụ isa ụmụ okwu ọbụla. Onwe onye agasi ụta na adọkasị isi ka afọ dị ya mma. Onye ọbụla dị ready iri nsị ma nwụọ nsị maka nwa ya. Awokwa kalụ nya gị n'anya iweli ya. So ọ bụrụ na ife ne ha kọcha no ka o si wee dị. Mana mmadụ one ka ga-apụta sị na ọ bụrụ kwa ife n'ukwu no ka o si wee ga.
So what are your thoughts, guys? Do you believe this? Do you think that it is unfair that the world is dragging Regina's mother instead of holding Regina to take responsibility for her decisions? And do you believe that even if she was the one that orchestrated that marriage, that she did what she felt at the time was the best for her own child? Or do you actually think that she used Regina as a sacrificial lamb for the family, as a cash cow, and she did not act in Regina's interest, but for her own selfish desires? Do you believe that Regina is just a victim of circumstances? Or do you believe that she is a victim of her own decisions? Let us share all we think about this down in the comment section. So guys, yes, we have come to the end of today's video. If you're new here, you're seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, drop all your thoughts down in the comment section, and stay glued for we have so much more coming your way. It's me, your girl barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye.